Okay, so you're going to integrate some sort of coaching initiative into your organization to modify behavior outcomes from your employees or from groups of employees. Here's a couple things to think about in order to avoid this being a crash and burn scenario, which a lot of times coaching initiatives end up being a disaster in organizations. So, when you start out coaching, what are you coaching on? Understand that. Is it measurable or is it not? If it's measurable, understand that that's a lot more tangible for employees to be able to see their progress on. It's a lot easier to coach on. So if you're coaching on empathy or customer satisfaction scores or first call resolution, etc., the key thing is to be able to watch and identify the path from start to finish. So don't just look at the beginning or don't just look at the end or just both. You got to look at the middle because that will tell you how that person is trending and how effective your coaching is. It'll also allow your coaches to course correct along the way. The other thing is how often or the frequency at which you're coaching. If your coaching is intermittent and unreliable, your people will be apathetic to it. If you truly want to make a difference, it needs to be consistent. It needs to be focused. So make sure it is actually part of a routine that you're doing or your coaches are actually partaking in. It's a requirement of them. Third thing is that your coaches have to be held accountable. And that's why if you're associating any kind of ROI or measurable outcome to those coaching efforts, then you can really hold your coaches accountable. Because ultimately, it may not be the person receiving the coaching, it may be the person who's delivering it. It takes two. So make sure you can inspect or check the checkers, okay? Because your coaching may actually need to happen on your coaches and not the particular employee. 4 is that the riches are in the follow-up. If you don't have follow-up as part of your coaching strategy, get it in there because the follow-up allows you to consistently take the temperature of what is happening with that coaching and add additional lessons, add additional meetings in between, the gaps and when you're checking in. That's all possible when you have regularly scheduled follow-up. And lastly, if you're not introducing some sort of incentive for those people to want to get better, right? Because inherently or intrinsically, they will want to get better, right? There's a mastery component here. But also to be able to feather in rewards or recognition is also a great catalyst to accelerate those outcomes that you're trying to drive through your coaching platform. If you do those things, whether it's manual or through a unified platform, you will be a lot more effective and have a greater impact, particularly on the bottom line with your coaching initiatives.